Why, hello there, and welcome back to a Success Martial Arts training video. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at the back stance. So another one of our very common stances throughout all of our forms, and this one is most people, they kind of like this stance more than all the other ones. And in a lot of, especially when you really start getting into competition style martial arts, this is the stance that people use way more than any of the other ones. So in this video, we are going to be breaking down the technique. I'm going to be showing you how you can practice getting into it to make sure that it's deep enough and your body is in the correct position. And then at the end of the video, we're going to do a little bit of a just quick little training workout to help you to strengthen your legs to do the stance better, but also to train the technique itself. So stick with me and let's get to training. Technique of back stance. So when you do a front stance, we talk about the railroad track idea. And when we do our back stance is like you're on one railroad track. So instead of like the front stance where I'm standing on two separate tracks, when I do my back stance, I want to be on one side of the railroad tracks. So this stance is very, very strong forwards and backwards, but it's very weak side to side. So most of the time when we do a back stance, it's when we're trying to pull somebody towards us and we need a lot of strength going behind us, or we are doing some sort of a block on the side, so we need good stability for the front of us. But this is not one that would give you a lot of stability side to side, whereas like front stance is very strong forward and backwards, but it's also very stable side to side. And a horse stance is very, very stable side to side. That's where it's strongest. And you have a lot of flexibility forward and backwards, because when I'm in a horse stance, if somebody pushes me from the side, I can easily resist either way, because I'm very stable in this stance. But if somebody pushes me back, I can easily bring my feet. Somebody pushes me forward, I can easily bring my feet. So it's one of those that I do have mobility forward and backwards, and then strength side to side. Now, with our back stance, we got a lot of strength forward and backwards, but we don't have that side to side strength. But that still does not mean it's not a good stance. So let's break the technique down and let's figure out how do we do a good back stance. So we're starting out with how do we check the stance. So the way that it works is I always like to start with my feet together, kind of like I'm standing at attention. Just go hands behind my back. Now, if we move our right leg out to our back stance, then what I'm going to do is my right toes, I'm just going to turn my toes, so now my foot on the ground makes an L shape, right? So my left foot is the top of the L, my right foot is the top of the L, and my left foot is the bottom of the L, right? And then from there, what I'm gonna do is just take some natural steps. I'm gonna go one step forwards, right? Keeping my heels in line together, and then I take a second step forwards, and then I'm gonna take one more, a third step forwards there. Now, standing up, I still have my line, right? So if there was a laser pointer on this heel, the laser would still be pointing right back to my heel on my left leg. Now, from here, what I wanna do is I'm gonna bend my toes kind of over my knee, and my weight is gonna come backwards a little bit, right? So I'm not bending straight down like a horse stance, but I'm actually bending backwards a little, right? So when I do this, I bend backwards, and then that's what puts me in my good back stance, right? So from there, we step back up, and then we do it the other way. So now my left foot is going to be the one that turns, and I'm going to take that one step forward. I'm going to take the 2 steps forward, and then my 3rd step forward. Now when I bend, again, I'm bending my knee back as I sink into that back stance here, right? Then we come back up, we do it one more time each way. So turn my toes, and then step 1, step 2, step 3, and then bend back into my stance, all right? Then we come back up, and one more time this way. So I turn, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then I bend backwards in that stance. Now when I do this, most of my weight is on this back leg. So when I'm doing certain moves, then again, my weight is coming backwards here. So about 70-ish% of our weight is back on the back leg, about 30% is on that front leg. Way we do this for just practicing hitting our stance is you can do this with a block. I'm just going to do it with my hands behind my back. But when I do my stance, what I'm going to do is my feet start out kind of like I'm at position, like I'm about to start one of the forms. But then I put my hands behind my back, but my feet are still there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to step 1 foot forwards. So this foot is going to turn as I step forwards with the other leg. So now again, you can see my feet are in a line. Then from there, I'm going to step back and over. Then I go the other way. Turn, my foot comes out into that back stance, and then back and over. One more time each side. Turn and out. Then I come back and over. Last time. Turn and out and back and over. Last part of this training video on our back stance here. So in this one, we're just going to do a little workout that, again, we're going to just do 5 on each leg. And doing 5 of these is actually really, really good. But if you want to build up your strength in your legs and you want to improve this stance even faster, then this is one that you can definitely do 10 or 15 or 20 in a row on each leg. So this one, what we're practicing is basically kind of a one-legged squat. So we're going to get into our back stance, but before we bend the knees. So the way that I'm going to do this one is I, again, can just practice stepping into my back stance, or you can do the breakdown again. I can turn, step 1, step 2, step 3. Now what I want to do is I want to have the feet there, but my legs straight. Now, the workout is, what I'm going to do is hold my body posture, and I'm going to bend my knee into the back stance and then back out, and that's what our workout's going to be. So we're going to do 5 of those in a row. So I'm looking at my target, my hands are behind my back, and we're going to nice and slow bend into our back stance and then back out, right? And we bend into our back stance and then back out. That's 2, 3 more. Down and up and down and up. One more time. Down and up. And feet back together. Now we do it on the other side. So, once again, I turn my toes. I take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Got my legs nice and straight, hands behind my back, good posture, looking at my target, and I bend into my stance. Woo, don't fall over, right? Hold it for a second, and then we come back up, out of it. Whoa, I'm falling over on this side. So, here we go. Ready? Let's go 5 in a row. And we bend back, and up, and back, and up. last one. Back and up. We'll bring our feet back together. All right. Now, you can add some pulsing in there like we did in our horse stands. That is definitely going to add to the workout. So you could bend into the back stands, do a couple of little pulses, and then come back up. You could hold it for longer, bend into the stands, and just hold it there for 5 seconds, and then come back out of it. So a couple of ways that you can make that training a little bit stronger for those legs. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the